Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and good morning everyone. Welcome back to our lesson. This is lesson 6 and today you're going to learn a poem. The title is Holiday Memories. This is our content standard. The main skill is language arts. The complementary skill is reading. Let us look at the learning standard. For the main skill, respond imaginatively and intelligibly through creating simple picture stories, simple poems, and cartoon stories. Other imaginative responses as appropriate. Now, the complementary skill, which is reading, we have to read and enjoy A1 fiction or non-fiction, print, and digital text of interest. Our focus for today would be the tenses, which is simple past tense. Now, the learning objective would be, by the end of the lesson, pupils will be able to change all the past tense verbs in the poem to their base words with guidance. How to enjoy a poem? Number 1, a poem expresses the writer's thoughts and feelings. Second, it also helps the readers make a connection with their experience. And lastly, it also captures experiences and paint pictures with words. Before you start reciting a poem, what should we do? Number 1, you have to understand the meaning of the poem. And how do we understand it? You have to identify any interesting words in the poem. And after that, you can study the unfamiliar words. Here, you can find the meaning in the dictionary. And lastly, you can read it with emotion. So, are you ready to recite the poem? Let us recite the poem together. Before that, please get ready your poetry book. Get ready your anthology of poems for year 4, 5 and 6. And the poem is Holiday Memories by June Crabin on page 6. Are you ready? Let us recite it together. When I was on holiday, I went to Timbuktu. I wrestled with a jaguar and boxed a kangaroo. I journeyed into jungles. I swam the deepest sea. I climbed the highest mountain and a monkey puzzle tree. I chatted to a seagull. I met a big baboon. I floated on a moonbeam until I reached the moon. I visited the planets. I lit up all the stars. I gossiped to a parrot traveling to Mars. I sailed across the ocean. I drove a greyhound bus. I rode across the desert on a hippopotamus. I heard a mermaid singing. I fought a killer shark. I grappled with a grizzly in a wild safari park. I chased a band of pirates completely round the bend. And now the summer's over, and so is this. The end. Now, let us study the poem again. And this time, we have to identify the simple past tense. What is simple past tense? Simple past tense is the verb form that shows actions that has already happened in the past. Let us look at the simple past tense in the poem. When I was on holiday. Which one is the past tense? Was. Very good. Next, I went to Timbuktu. Is there any past tense here? Yes, the answer is went. I wrestled with a jaguar. Good. Wrestled. And boxed a kangaroo. Box is the past tense. Very good. I journeyed into jungles. Yes, journeyed is the past tense. I swam the deepest sea. Where is the past tense? Very good. Swam. I climbed the highest mountain. Climb. And a monkey puzzled tree. Is there any past tense there? No. Good. Next, let us look at the meaning of some of the words. This is wrestle versus box. What is the difference between wrestle and box? Let us look at this picture. When you wrestle, you do not need to wear any gloves. But when you are boxing, you use the gloves. Is that clear? Let us look at the next one. I chatted to a seagull. I met a big baboon. I floated on a moonbeam until I reached the moon. Can you find the past tense in this poem? Yes, the first one is chatted. After that, met, floated, and the last one, reached. Very good. Next, I visited the planets. And which is the past tense? Visited. I lit up all the stars. The answer is lit. I gossiped to a parrot. Where is the past tense? Gossip. Traveling to Mars. Is there any past tense? No. Very good. Let us look at the next one. I sailed across the ocean. Sailed. I drove a greyhound bus. Drove. I rode across the desert on a hippopotamus. Rode. Very good. I heard a mermaid singing. Heard. I fought a killer shark. The answer is fought. I grappled with a grizzly. Yes, grappled. In a wild safari park. The last one. Can you tell me how many past tense can you find here? I chased a band of pirates completely round the bend. And now the summer's over, and so is this. The end. Alright, the answer is chase. Very good. Well done, everyone. What is simple past tense? There are two forms. Number 1, regular verbs. Number 2, irregular verbs. What is verbs? Verb is action words. You have to remember, verbs is action words. Let us look at the first one, regular verbs. There are few spelling rules that you have to remember. The first one, best form plus ed. Let us look at the examples. Walk, W-A-L-K, becomes walk, W-A-L-K-E-D. Second one, play, P-L-A-Y, it becomes played, P-L-A-Y-E-D, played. The second rule, verbs ending in E and you have to add D. For example, like becomes like, move becomes moved. The next rule, verbs ending in a consonant plus Y, and you have to change Y to I-E-D. For example, carry, C-A-R-R-Y, you have to change Y into IED, so it becomes carried. CARRIED. Study becomes studied. STUDIED. Let us look at the last row. Verbs ending in a single consonant plus the second letter is a vowel, so you have to double the last letter N plus ED. Let us look at the example. Plan, PLAN, it becomes PLANNED, planned. Stop becomes stop. How about irregular verbs? Irregular verb is a verb in which the past tense is not formed by adding the usual ed endings. Let us look at the example. Go becomes went. We do not need to add ed after go. G-O-E-D, that is wrong. So, go becomes went. Swim, swam. Teach, taught. Buy, bought. Speak, spoke. Now how about this one? Read becomes read. Cut, still the same, cut. Now it's time to do your homework. You have to use your English Book 1. Rewrite the poem and change all the verbs into their best words. After that, upload your work in your Google Classroom. Let me show you one example. When I was on holiday, we change it to when I am on holiday, because am is the best word for was. Next, I went to Timbuktu. When we change it to I go to Timbuktu, because go is the best word for when. After you are done with your writing, take a picture. In your Google Classroom, click Add or Create. Next, click File. This one will appear. Please upload your picture here. After that, turn in to submit your work. Thank you very much. Do you have any question? You can ask me in WhatsApp or Google Classroom. Goodbye and see you soon.